Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Danish bin Ahmad. My number metric is 1210045. I want to start my presentation with an introduction. News is information about current events. This may be provided through many different media: word of mouth, printing, postal systems, broadcasting, electronic communication, or through the testimony of observers and witnesses to events. A news article discusses current or recent news of either general interest, such as daily newspapers, or of a specific topic, such as political or trade news magazines, club newsletters, or technology news websites. A feature writing is a longer piece of writing than a news story. Features come in many different types and are widely used in magazines, newspapers, and online. Television news programs inform and discuss current events via the medium of television. A news bulletin or a newscast are television programs lasting from seconds to hours that provide updates on events. Radio news is transmitted through the medium of radio, meaning it is audio only. Radio news has persisted, often with short updates at certain intervals on the hour, although the medium of radio has generally shifted toward people doing something else, such as driving, working, or waking up, compared to television. Social media as a news source is the use of online social media platforms rather than moreover traditional media platform to obtain news. Using social media as a news source has become an increasingly more popular way for old and young adults alike to obtain information.
My name is Muhammad IBARAHIM. My metric number is 1210054. Okay, I will talk about the news article. The first slide is showing the news article from news recorder, the international article. The second slide is from M-Star, the local article. Next, I will told you about the differences between local article and international article. Local articles are using quoting leads to make the news become more interesting to read. The international article is used blind lead to attract the reader to read their article. About the photography is the local article, the coordination of the image in article B was done for the interview, whereas the international article are used pictures that were already taken primarily from the student post. Local articles are included question and answer features, but the international articles are not include the question and answer features. The similarities between local articles and international articles is both are news articles, both are piece of writing about people and classified under the type of news article requirement. Picture also included in both articles. Writing style in both articles are same because it is make the reader easy to understand the content. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MAZLIYANA IZZATI BINTI FADHLIL ZAKUAN. My metric number is 1210087. Okay, let's continue with feature writing. This slide shows article A about Eddie Bryan found her style through a decade of dressing as other people, which is from Vogue, United States, the international media. Right, next, article B, Glam Persona, the limitless rhythm of Yuna. This is from Glam Malaysia, the local media. Similarities. Okay, this article A and B shares the same similarities, which is both are magazine features. Both articles were about people and classified under the same category of feature story, which is personality, and picture are also included in both articles. Next, differences. The first thing that I have noticed in both articles are their writing style. The international media writes in a more relaxed manner, while local media writes in a more direct and formal way. Next, even though both articles use photograph pictures in their articles, but the international media ones use pictures that already captured. Mostly they took from Getty image, while our local media uses photographs that were specifically done for the interview or the issue. The last one that I have noticed is the international media uses question and answer feature, while local media does not. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Next is news from TV. The first slide is from the Asia Tonight. It is international news. Second slide is from the Extraordinary. It is from the local news. Now, I will tell you about the differences between local and international news. Okay. Local news are using Malay language while streaming on live, while the international news are using English while streaming on live. Second, local news are showing local and international news, even about the sport news. International news is about, it shows only the international news and not show the local news. Lastly, local news are showing 4 times in a day, but the international news are showing all day long. The similarities between local and international is News A and News B were both TV news. Both news were similar in sound on tape, voice over, reporter on scene, and live interview. This similarity is the condition to make news become more interesting. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is NASYITA BADARUDDIN and my metric number is 1210042. Today I would like to continue our discussion about news for radio. I have chosen 2 radio news, which is News A and News B. For News A is in English, while News B in Bahasa. The similarities that I found in both news is made up of short, concise and clear phrases and simple for the listener to hear and understand it. This may help listeners to get information as fast as possible. Basically, radio news doesn't include pictures. It is just using voiceover and sound on tape. Whereas the radio differences that I found are themes. News A is about natural disaster, meanwhile News B is about education. Next, the way of dissemination of information. News B has a prolonged intro that listeners have to wait to get the news. On the other hand, News A is more straightforward and transparent. so that listener can hear at one go and they can know the story about. Finally, news A story is emotionally charged because the presenter describes the actual situation on the scene, cause the listeners eager to know the story. Meanwhile, news B not.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SYAHZARUDDIN bin AMIRUDDIN and my metric number is 1210048. And today my topic is about news from social media. In here we can see that there are two articles, Article A and Article B. Article A is an article about international media, while Article B is about an article on local media. The similarities between two articles are both articles are from action movies. Both articles are trending in social media and labeled as action movies. There are multiple differences between Article A and Article B. Writing style is the first, while Article B is inspired by a history from colonization age. Article A is written from a movie franchise that is 36 years old. Secondly, while both articles contain photographs, the coordination of the images in Article B was done specifically from the poster, whereas Article A used images that were already captured in the movie, primarily from the movie itself. Furthermore, whereas Article B is mostly about criticism of the movie, Article A talks about the achievement that the movie has, which is charted on the top 10 domestic movies. Finally, Article B contains more on the origin of the content of the movie, while Article A directly tells how much the movie has earned throughout the premiere. That's all for me. Thank you.
Conclusion. In conclusion, there are some similarities that we can find between Malaysian media and international media. For example, in news article for newspaper, they have some similarities in anatomy of newspapers such as headline, banner headline, flag, jump line, and dominant image. For news on radio, the writing styles of script for Malaysian media and international media look same, which are the sentence is short and prioritizing the important part in a news article. But there's some big comparison for news on television. For example, news television in Malaysia are disseminating through several television broadcasting channels, which are fully government-owned television free-to-air broadcast channels, private television free-to-air broadcast channels, such and semi-government television free-to-air broadcast. Besides, channels for international news television cover world news events and national news, and may cover news items related to localities if such items have national or world significance. So, there are some different and similarities that we can find from Malaysian media and international media, and the big difference of these two media are the topic of the news. Malaysian media basically will tell more of news inside the country of Malaysia, and international media will tell the news that covering the whole world. To put in a nutshell, all of the type of news that help many people to know the up-to-date information, not only inside the country but all over the world. Thank you.